Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. Campaign has ended in Maharashtra and also for the second phase of Jharkhand. But now what we are looking at over the next half hour is that what are the issues which have really worked on the ground? Was Modi a factor? Katoge, batoge, ek hai to safe hai. This Hindu Muslim agenda, has it really worked on the ground? Has it helped the BJP or is it really going to backfire? And the most significant question, has the opposition been successful in coming up with a counter narrative of the BJP's politics in Maharashtra and Jharkhand? Joining me now is Manoj Prasad, who is the founding editor of Jharkhand State News, and he's also been a columnist with the Indian Express. Thank you so much, Manoj, for joining. We have Vivek Deshpande, veteran journalist and political commentator. He's also worked with Indian Express. Thank you so much, Vivek, for joining. And I'll begin with Vivek first because, of course, all the interest is in Maharashtra and a lot of interest in Jharkhand as well. But starting with Maharashtra, Vivek, with you, that today the campaign has ended. What do you think is the situation right now? Who seems to be having an edge?
If you look at the factors on the ground, if you look at how many odds are stacked against uh, Mahayuti and how many odds are stacked against Mahavikas Aghadi, then the clear conclusion that I can draw, at least, I mean, I won't hesitate to draw that conclusion, because in Maharashtra people are trying to be very very safe. The fight is so tight that nobody is trying to hazard a guess as to which whether the fight is going to end. Now, I think Maha Vikas Aghadi still has the edge which it had got in Lok Sabha elections. So 4 months down the line after the Lok Sabha elections, the situation hasn't really changed much on the ground, not at least to the extent where Mahayuti could actually turn the tables on Mahavikas Aghadi. So there's no 180-degree change. A little bit of difference in favor of Mahayuti is there, and that is largely due to the freebies that Mahayuti has resorted to towards the end of, in the last 2 3 months and towards the uh, end of the election campaign cycle. So, to that extent, I think but the Mahayuti has got some advantage at the fag end. But will that advantage be sufficient enough to wipe out uh, the advantage that Mahavikas Aghadi had got at the end of the Lok Sabha elections? Of course, in terms of percentage of vote, it was not much. But in terms of conversion of seats, it was really very substantial. As you know, Mahayuti had got only 17 seats. Remember, they had a record of 41 seats earlier, and
Yeah, you're free.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, the Maha Vikas Aghadi got 30 seats. Actually, 31. The Sangli seat also went to a Congress candidate who had rebelled. So, in a sense, they got 31 seats. He is a friendly candidate. So despite 1 or 1.5% of vote difference, the number of seats were substantially more in Mahavikas Aghadi's favor. So that advantage remains with Mahavikas Aghadi, because I'm not saying because Mahavikas Aghadi has uh, uh, presented any great picture of themselves, but because the Mahayuti, the negative perception about Mahayuti on many counts still persists. Like, for example, uh, the kind of politics that the BJP did, Mahayuti did in the last 5 years in Maharashtra, has left a bad taste in people's mouth. Maharashtra is not like states in our belt, where people can take. It's not a Hindutva laboratory in the first place, despite the fact that
Yeah.
RSS was born here, and it was started by Maharashtrians. Maharashtra had never been a BJP's laboratory. That experiment in Maharashtra did not succeed, and the RS and the BJP had to take help of the Bahujans. They call it Madhav, Mali, Dhangar, and Vanjari factor. They cultivated these three castes, OBC castes, for a long period, and then they, riding piggyback on Shiv Sena, they uh, they got support of a substantial critical mass of OBCs to get into the seat of power, along with, of course, Shiv Sena. In 2014, of course, they fought independently and they had got 122 seats. But at the peak of their popularity, the BJP had not more than 28%. That is
No,
because
but Vivek, if I
the
can interrupt you, Vivek, there was a
yeah.
feeling, and many BJP leaders did off the record say that, the welfare schemes haven't worked that well in Maharashtra. And that is the reason why BJP stuck to its Hindu Muslim agenda. You remember the Hindu Sakal, the Sakal Hindu group, the Sakal Hindu Samaj. They were initially, they raked up this Hindutva agenda and the Hindu Muslim politics. Then Devendra Fadnavis started talking about love jihad, and then he started talking about Aurangzeb, and he used the kind of language which never anybody expected, at least from Devendra Fadnavis. So the point is that, is this Hindu Muslim agenda really working on the ground for BJP, at least in certain pockets? And now, will
Yeah,
it backfire? Yes.
yeah, Nilu, actually, I was coming to that. I was just explaining to you how the social background of Maharashtra is and why it has acted as some sort of a firewall against the RS and BJP's divisive politics. They could not achieve what they could achieve in other states, particularly in Cow Belt, in Maharashtra, despite the fact that RSS is a organization that was started in Maharashtra and that was started by Maharashtrians. That is one thing. Now, that is because mainly there is this influence of Purogami Vichardhara. They call it Purogami Vichardhara, which means forward looking thought process, which
Progressive.
is
Yeah.
attributed, yeah, which is attributed generally to the trinity of Mahatma Phule, Jyotiba Phule, Rajarshi Shahu Chhatrapati, and Baba Saheb Ambedkar. So the trinity of Phule, Shahu, Ambedkar, Shivaji's legacy is there. There is a big Sant Parampara, the tradition of lineage of saints, which includes saints right from Brahmins to Dalits. So Maharashtra has had a very inclusive kind of a social background, which did not allow the RSS ideology to permeate to the lowest level. So that is the backdrop against which the BJP has always been pitted, and that has that has not changed much on the ground. Of course, they did get a lot of OBC support over the years, but that is not enough for them to win the election on their own even now, which they did in many other states. So that is the basic fact about the BJP's actual power on the ground in Maharashtra. Now, coming to the point that you raised, because they do not have anything else to do, they are resorting to this hard Hindutva over the last 2 3 years. This Sakal Hindu Samaj, the BJP can always say that we have nothing to do with it, but it is a front which has been started by. I mean, which has been sponsored by BJP. I can can comfortably say that, because the kind of leniency that the Maharashtra government has shown towards them shows that it is a front which has been supported by the BJP, and they have been
Right.
trying to
But
ignite
Vivek,
fire in
Vivek,
Maharashtra. Yeah.
right.
Uh,
I have to go to Jharkhand, so I'll quickly. I have another question to you, and then I'll go to Manoj. That in
yeah.
Maharashtra, who has been the biggest hero of this election as far as the campaign is concerned? Has it been Uddhav Thackeray? Has it been Sharad Pawar? Has it been Modi? Has it been Yogi? Who do you think is the real hero in terms of setting the agenda of the narrative?
Yeah, actually, the narrative is the BJP is trying to set the narrative. The thing is, the opposition has not set any narrative. They had set one narrative in Lok Sabha, that was the narrative of Samvidhan, Constitution, and uh, that paid very rich dividends to the opposition, the Mahavikas Aghadi. Uh, but that Constitution narrative did not exist, at least till a few days before these elections. When Rahul Gandhi came to Nagpur, he raised that issue again, and the BJP responded. That issue again, stirred the pot in Maharashtra. So that is there. That is at the back of the mind, which was actually in the forefront, on the foreground in Lok Sabha election. That is at the back of people's mind, particularly Dalits and Muslims, who had actually consolidated into one particular ghetto against the Mahayuti government and voted in favor of the Mahavikas Aghadi. So that sentiment is still there. It has not gone. It has not withered away. But that is at the back of people's mind. But in the foreground today are the issues of Mehngai, Berozgari, and farmers' problems. People are bothered much by, particularly by price rise. The farmers, due to the increase in prices of farm inputs and lack of remunerative prices, That is about the farmers, which is the last section, about 50% of the population in rural areas. I mean, that consists of farmers. And the price rise issue has pinched people in the urban areas as well. So people are talking on the ground that the government is giving 1,500 per month to women. That's fine, but what about price rise? What about unemployment? Those are the
True.
counter questions that the people are asking, which means
Hmm.
that the effect that the Mahayuti government wanted to achieve by giving these freebies is just a tempering effect. I mean, it has slightly blunted the
Right.
opposition that Mahayuti had incurred over the last few years to some extent. But will that be enough for Mahayuti to kind of
Right.
get close to victory? That's the question that remains to be answered. We'll get to know about it on
No,
23rd when
but
the results
would you
come out.
say,
But
Vivek,
as of now,
right.
Mahavikas Agadi has the edge. Yeah.
Okay, but Mahavikas Agadi has the edge. But what about those people who are saying that the contest in Maharashtra is neck and neck? And many people are also predicting a fractured mandate. And if that is the case, what is the scenario you're expecting post 23rd November?
Yeah, no, neck and neck it is there. It was neck and neck in terms of vote percentage, even in Lok Sabha. It could be so even this time, but I think in terms of number of seats, there could be some advantage on Mahavikas Aghadi's side. That is my guess. I will
All
take the risk of saying that. I might go wrong, but there could be some other reasons. It could be polling percentage. It could be better booth management by BJP that will help them. So there could be a number of reasons when the actual polling takes place. But as of now,
right.
my guess is Mahavikas Aghadi is going to win at least 150 seats in Maharashtra. So that I can safely
Okay.
say, going by the ground perception. Uh, if there is a hung assembly, then I think BJP will have its way because they have a government at center. They have the governor on their side. My guess is that BJP will, if the BJP emerges as a single largest party, even if they get say 80, 90 seats and single largest party, they will stake claim, and they will be invited no matter. Mahavikas Aghadi is a pre-poll alliance, no matter that, because BJP doesn't follow rules of constitution, rules of any book. So
So,
the attempt would be to invite the BJP to form government, and then BJP will kind of cobble up some sort of an alliance with existing partners, maybe, or maybe with new partners. That is something
right.
which we cannot make any guess about as of now.
Right, but you have stuck out your neck and said that you are seeing Maharashtra Vikas Agadi at least getting 150 seats. Now I'm shifting
Yes.
gears to Jharkhand because Jharkhand also an interesting battle is playing out, a battle of survival for Hemant Soren. BJP wants to come back to power. There has been a campaign which has been full of hatred. Ma, Beti, Roti, infiltrators, Bangladeshi infiltrators, they are coming and settling there. Now, what would you really say at the end of the campaigning when the campaign closes for the second phase? Polling is to happen on 20th November. What do you feel is the Battle of Jharkhand going to look like?
As a citizen, I personally find that this state, Jharkhand, is in a fix. It is divided into five different divisions.
Manoj, just allow me. I think speak as a journalist first, then later on as a citizen, so that the audience gets a picture, a better picture of what's really happening on the ground.
Let's
Yes.
not discuss that. Yes, okay. You take me as a citizen or take me as a journalist. Both ways the same thing. What I feel is that the entire actually campaigning has come to an end today in Jharkhand. And if you analyze the past 2 months of these politicians, political parties, the campaign actually took a very nasty and dirty turn in different ways. Basically, identity issues and emotional issues were picked up by both sides. Identity issues and emotional issues, we know very well how it has gone to. And today, when it ended, what actually Khadge pointed out that the saap hai Bhajpa, same thing, same words were used by Hemant Soren 2 days back. Similarly, that side also took up this Bangladeshi mudda, that infiltration, etc., and several other issues. But listen, these five divisions actually have witnessed the campaigning in a five different ways. And it is mainly because of the reason that each division has its own form of electorate. For instance, if you look into Santal Pagna, here the dominance is of Santals. Santals is a tribe. Now, in Santal Pagna, you have also several other tribes. Now, the division has taken place among tribals. And that is mainly because of the division in Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, the split that took place because of Champai Soren. And Champai Soren actually when sided with BJP, it appears to me that in Santhal Pragna and this Kolhan areas, a good percentage of Adivasis actually have shifted towards BJP. And that is going to give a big edge to this Bharatiya Janata Party, as far as I understand. Because Sardar Pragna has around about 18 seats and 14 seats are there in Kolhan areas. And both are basically tribal dominated areas. And as we know, in 2024 elections, general elections, Lok Sabha elections, out of five ST reserved seats, not one seat was won by BJP. And in most of these assembly constituencies, we found data show that BJP actually faced a huge defeat in terms of number of votes polled by them. Now, what has happened because of the split that took place in Jharkhand Mukti Morcha because of Champai Soren, the shift has taken place among these Adivasis there. And they are questioning, and look, why I'm pointing out about divisions, because see, Palamu is different, then South Chotanagpur is different. There you have got this particular problem actually has been creating a huge setback for the Adivasis. And this was picked up by journalists, then it came to court, and then BJP made this particular issue. Then this issue actually is now linked with the identity of tribals. Now the tribals actually now are split. To my mind, even if 2% tribals actually go in favor of BJP, it is going to go in favor of BJP in good number. It will gain good number of seats. Good number of seats means what? Out of 14, even if they get 4, that is going to be a big actually a gain for the BJP. Same thing happens in Santal Pagna. To my mind, here it is very simple and clear. And large majority of Adivasis, they are still siding with JMM. And whether it is Santal Pagna or it is Kolhan or it is
No, but Manoj, do you
North
think,
Chota.
Manoj, but do you think that
Yes.
2024 Jharkhand election is really, really tough as compared to the elections in the previous year?
I like to tell you two ways we should look at it if you want to make comparative picture between the past elections and this elections. Past elections actually were held when BJP had no allies. One important point was that within BJP, there was one guy called ex-CM Babulal Marandi who had his own party, the JVM, Jharkhand Vikas Morcha. That Vikas
Right.
Morcha now came and joined BJP. So this is number one. Number two, its own ally, All Jharkhand Students Union, it had contested the 2019 assembly elections as not an ally. They had contested elections altogether as enemies. What happened was because of the split in the votes, BJP actually was unable to become the largest single party in the assembly. So it got about 24 seats, and JVM got 30. So
True.
here, what happened that Babulal has joined, this JVM has joined the BJP, and second thing is All Jharkhand student ASU also has joined BJP. The three together are fighting elections together. So this time there is unity. But on the other side, if you see, there is a split in JMM. That Adivasi votes, they had voted for
No,
BJP
but do
there
you
in the.
see, Manoj, but the point is that do you see the JMM Congress alliance as a weakened force, or do you see BJP, having some kind of an advantage on the ground?
I like to tell you that BJP has an advantage on the ground. Simply for the two reasons I told you. Because this side there is a unity and this side there is actually division. And second important point is in Jharkhand, you find that Hemant Soren as chief minister is fighting election campaigning all along with his own wife. But Rahul Gandhi came here twice and all, I think, in some places, but not in that way. And even Khadge also came twice and went away. Congress party is the very weak party at the grassroots level here in Jharkhand. So the whole actually campaigning single-handedly is taken by Hemant Soren and his wife, and that is a very big thing because he has been taking it heads on with the all BJP and allies and all together. To my mind, it is a still it's very difficult to make prediction who is going to gain and who is going to lose. But to my mind, uh, definitely for sure, as I am convinced that BJP will emerge as the single largest party in the coming elections. And once it comes to becomes actually single largest party, it will be easy for them to form the government because see there are only 81 assembly constituencies here, and even if they get, you know it very well, since 2000 there have been several actually governments here. In 1 5 year you find two governments or three governments, even single independent candidate like Madhu Koda formed the government here. So very difficult to say what will happen to the
No, I was reading the
government.
statistics, Manoj, and this is my last question to you. That I mean, it's a tough fight certainly in Jharkhand. BJP is also trying to pull out all stops, to form the government. JMM also, even though it's split, is also campaigning aggressively. But Jharkhand in the last 24 years has seen 13 governments,
Yes,
13 chief ministers, and
yes.
uh, the 14th government which is going to be formed, whoever forms it, how stable will that government be?
I tell you, it will all depend upon the results of the assembly elections. If actually they get full majority, then probably they will be able to continue for the 5 years or all. But otherwise, it will be very difficult. But Nilu, I would like to point out one thing very importantly. Now, since he is sitting here from Maharashtra, I am sitting here from Jharkhand. This election, I am finding the important issues, real issues, have been sidelined. And what has been picked up by these political parties, mainly BJP and others, that same identity issues and emotional issues to mobilize people. But what happens to the major issues that the land of Jharkhand actually confronts during or has been confronting during the past 24 years of its own establishment? You find that Jharkhand remains as one of the most backward states in the country. Poverty level is very high. Third, third largest per capita income from the low below. Third largest actually per capita income in lowest. Then you find poverty level. Urban poverty is the maximum seventh from top below. So what happens? That this state, which is minerally rich, second state in the country which has the maximum major minerals in this particular state. But people remain
True.
poor. Why? Not only because there have been so many comments, but I tell you, analyze the manifestos of these political parties. I'm talking about all political parties, which are BJP, JMM, and others. They have not at all tackled the real issues confronting the people. And what
Absolutely.
they bother about just to gain votes, win the whole thing, remain in the power, and
Right.
chalo malai khate. But
Right.
nobody is thinking about the future of the state. What is happening?
Absolutely.
You
Yeah,
you
we
know,
have a limited time. Manoj, I'm sorry to cut you short over there, but yes, you pointed out the right issues that no party has thought of Jharkhand's welfare, and which is why in the last 24 years, 13 governments have been formed. We do not know how stable the 14th government will be. And of course, what you pointed out about the wealthy state and a rich state, there is a difference between a wealthy state and a rich state. Now, can the 14th government, whichever it is, whichever party forms the government, can it make the wealthy Jharkhand a rich state? And will it think of the welfare of the people of Jharkhand? That's $1 million question. So we'll have to wait and watch. I'll have to end the program here. Thank you so much, Vivek, for shedding light on what is happening in Maharashtra. And Manoj, to you, thanks so much for shedding light on Jharkhand. But all eyes now would be on 20th November, the day of polling. And of course, immediately after the polling is the day of the exit polls. So we'll have to wait and watch what happens that day as well. Thank you so much. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion: subscribe to our channel, send us a feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal. Thank you.